Alright guys, how's it going? Our next match that we got coming up is NiP versus either HR or Virtus Pro. It's today, a couple hours from now. It's going to be a best of three. The maps aren't determined yet. Um, as far as NiP's lineup, we got really their whole team are huge factors. They're all pretty level. As you can see here, got their KDs laid out. They're all near each other, minus Fiflaren, which isn't a whole lot behind. Get Right and Force are huge on top, but really on their last match um, that I see as counting exists. Freiburg, they're all right on top with each other. Force, Get right behind him. And Get Right can definitely be a huge game changer. That's why he's highlighted here. If he's on, he can really determine the entire course of the game versus any team they play. Um, so I've got their last matches on that are showing up on HLTV, which are versus Mouz, the last Case King of the Hill, as well as their matches on ESEA, which are their last two losses versus Nav'ii and Mouz. We'll take a look at those closer. As you can see in the Nav'ii game, it just did not work out for them. Exist Force, they were all pretty close to each other. Fiflaren really didn't do much, and Guardian was ridiculous along with Seized on Season. It's a season map. Ended up being, Na'Vi ended up taking 8 on both sides. It is what it is. It's a best of one. So obviously, a lot of people were upset about these two losses, including this one against Mouse that went into, was it either triple or quadruple overtime on Dust 2, which everybody knows is a flippy map. Anything can happen on it. Basically, the main thing that happened in that game is AUG and Chris J played ridiculous against NiP, and Exist and Fiflaren really didn't do much that game. So that's their two most recent matches. But like I said, they're both best of one, and they're both on two maps that, either don't get practiced much or are just, anything can happen on them. Alright, so back to what I'm going to base my prediction or my analysis off of is going to be, because this is a best of three, it's not a best of one, so it's a whole different ball game. I'm going back to the most recent HLTV stats, which was their Mouse match in Case King of the Hill. And as you can see, Freiburg, Exist, Get Right, Force, they're all together just doing great stuff. They ended up winning it 10-6. This is also this is one of the maps. They were all playing very well, and you can see what happens when Chris and AUG don't do very good. Mouse just kind of is extremely mediocre at that point without them two really carrying them. And the second map ended up going 16-9 for NiP. Again, Freiburg, Forest, Get Right, Exist. They're all doing very well. And even when Chris does decent, if he's not really carrying the team along with AUG and Tab, they're just mediocre. There's nothing else to say about it. I mean, they did go on a great streak, but it really depends on them to hold them up and get everything working. As far as between Virtus and Hellraisers, I outlined their lineup in that analysis video, so you can look at that. Um, it I think Hellraiser's going to win that game. That's who my bet is on. But either team could win that game. It's going to be a very good and close game. Um, Again, as you can see, as far as KDs go by CS:GO StatSpot, NiP is, very well ahead in that department. But it all comes down to team play, and with it being a best of three, um, it's going to come down to how well NiP can adjust. Even we'll take a look at ESL1. As you can see, during the qualifying stages, um, NiP had, they didn't destroy the team. They didn't destroy Wolf. I mean, come on, 16-7, and then they did, beat HR. HR got 11 rounds on them, and then going into the playoffs, as you can see, they were giving up maps to Cloud9, LDLC. Obviously, they ended up winning it versus Fnatic, but you can see HR obviously got destroyed by them in the qualifying there, and 16-11 though they gave up 11 rounds to them, so it is what it is. Virtus Pro didn't get very far, obviously. HR didn't make it to the playoffs. So, I think it's really going to come down to in their best of threes whether or not they can adjust. They can afford obviously to lose the first map because they're really good at adjusting to other teams' gameplay. So, just for your other information here, I've got it pulled up on a CS:GO bet predictor. NiP versus Virtus, they've got half and half, 7 matches each here. Nuke for NiP, and Mirage for Virtus. As far as percentage wise, we'll see how that goes. I've also got NiP versus Hellraisers here, and that one is a little bit more leaning towards NiP, 5-4. Nuke again, Inferno for HR, and then for CS Gopher, we got Virtus Pro versus NiP. You can see all the scores here. You can pause it if you need to take a closer look. NiP versus any team, they're damn good. So, and these are all, this is just a database of information, so it is what it is. As everybody knows, matches come down to the previous couple matches, not necessarily the entire outline of a team's career. So, as you can see, we've got almost 50-50 as far as CS:GO Lounge odds right now. If it were higher on NiP's end, I would probably go with an underdog bet. But since it's 50-50 almost, I'm just going to go with NiP. There's no reason why they shouldn't win this game. There's always the possibility Virtus Pro and HR could both make it happen, but I think NiP is gonna definitely come to this game ready to win and try to take Case King of the Hill again. And with those odds, you might as well just go with NiP. There's really no reason to mess around with it. And so just for continuity, there's my bet right here. I'm going with a low to medium bet on NiP with those odds. Like I said, if it was a little bit higher on percentage-wise on their end, I'd probably go with the underdog because it's definitely possible. Although I do think NiP is going to take this one. As always, it's just here to gather information for you. You make your own bet and have good luck and have fun betting on CSGO. Good luck with your skins. All right, out.